What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Go Karts and Cars. And as you already know, as you've seen in the thumbnails, we're going to be taking off the intake manifold. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so before we can even get to the air intake, we got to move all the stuff from the top. So first thing first, you see me go ahead and tackling this cabin air filter box. Now it's just 2 screws at the bottom, 4 at the top, so 6 total screws, little 8mm bolts. Go ahead and get your ratchet, get your little power ratchet, and go ahead and get that out of there. It's easy. Once you get the little screws out, you're able to pull this straight on up to the top, and it's going to give you more access to your rain guard. So let's go ahead and get that out of there. Next thing what you want to do is get this ambient air sensor out. The ambient air sensor allows your computer to know the temperature outside so it can regulate it better on the inside for you. Now what you see me doing is removing these 2 cover clips. Now these 2 covers, they've just got little clips on the side. You just pull those on the side and get that off. So it's one on the left, one on the right. And once you get that out, you got more access to the rain guard. Now you can really start to move that out. What you see me doing right now is actually moving this power strip. Now this power strip gives power to your starter that actually starts your car. So you want to get that out of the way because you don't want to yank that, you don't want to mess that up. So we're going to pull that off the rain guard, just 3 clips. You pull them 3 clips down, you move it out, and you can attach it from the rain guard. Next, you got 2 little rubber clamps. You got one on the left side, got one on the right side. Once you get those out, then the rain guard should come easily right on out. Now you're going to take this little seal, this little gasket, make sure that you keep that with there because you want to put it on there. Make sure that everything is sealed tight, don't get no water on your electronics and everything. So what we're going to tackle now is get into the air intake itself. So this is the air scoop. We're going to got 2 torque bits in the front. We're going to go ahead and get those torque bits out of there. Next thing you're going to do is go ahead and tackle the air intake scoop away from the air box, the air filter box. Now it's a little tricky. You just want to go ahead and give it a little wiggle back and forth. You're going to get ahead and get that out of there. Once you get that out of there, we're going to go ahead and start tackling this air box. So it's 2 10mm bolts. You know, very simple. Just go ahead and put your ratchet on there and get those off there. And once you get that out of there, next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and attach your mass airflow sensor. Now you see me right now with this little screwdriver. Now you probably don't want to use a screwdriver unless you have to. Mine I had to, but the little piece was broke, so I had to just pry it off there with the screwdriver. Now what you see me doing is actually loosening up the clamp that's attaching the coupling that attached to the intake to the air filter box. So once you get this clamp off and get that back clamp loosened, I do them both at the same time. So that way when I pull one out, I can just pull the next one out when I need to. So go ahead and get that one loosened. Now you're able just to pull this air box just straight on out. Boom. Look. I mean, we're getting somewhere now, y'all. So what we're going to do now is remove this oil line that goes into your oil filter. Then we're going to do is get this valve cover off so we have more access to the bolts on the intake manifold. But before we get there, we're going to go ahead and remove this power steering thing. And that way, when we go to move the air intake out, it's not hitting it, not in the way. So we're just going to go ahead and move that out. Just got 2 bolts on there. Just put a little, ratchet, put a little screw, whatever you need to put on there, and just get that off of there. What you see me doing now is tackling the coupling that attaches to the intake manifold. And this is a little bit of force. Don't be scared of it. Just give it a nice little wiggle back and forth, and it's going to come out. This is a pressure sensor that attaches and lets your car know the pressure of the oil when it's going through the filter. So with this, it was just like, I believe it was 10mm bolts, and it's just 7 of them. So you got, get in there and get them. They're not in hard spots at all, honestly, guys. Everything is very easy to reach. Get that out of there. So before we can even pour this out, we got to get this little support rod out of here. So we just put a little 14mm. It's actually a star bit, but I put a 14mm on that, and I put a 10mm on this bolt, and I was able to get those out of there so I can actually pour the support bar right on out. Now this is another sensor that attaches to your air intake manifold. What you see removing now is actually 2 of your oxygen sensors. So you just go ahead and remove those and take those at the bottom of there. Now what you see me doing now is just moving out the air intake just a little bit so I can actually get to all of the clips and everything that's in the back of your air intake. So this is just PCV valves and stuff like that. What you see me doing right now is loosening up this screw so I can take off the fuel line. You don't want to snatch your fuel line out, have fuel everywhere. and you don't want to have to pay for one of those. Now, if you see me getting to way down here, it's just like this little junction box, or I don't know what to call it, but it's like a little box that has all it's a junction box, and just go ahead and wiggle that back and forth. And this gives a lot of people issues. A lot of people had to screw them out. I just think if you just spray a little bit back there and just keep wiggling it back and forth, it's going to come out. Now, these two clips that you see me taking out right now, if you had a stage 3 intake manifold, like a 330i or something like that, that will go to your disc valve, so you want to make sure that you know which one of those is which. And if you plan to upgrade your 328i into a 330 intake manifold, which is stage 3 intake manifold, then you want to make sure you know which one of these is going to go to which one. So make sure you mark those, or do the video and make sure you remember where you put it at. So it's another little clamp that's at the bottom of here. Once you get that out of the way, and then once you get that little pressure sensor, another little sensor out the way, and this is also another little mischievous little clip, and another sensor back there. Once you get all those out, you easily can pour this out. Now it's just like a little PCV valve that's like two oil connectors in the back, and you got like maybe 1 or 2 sensors that's back there. You can easily get to them.